That's his right. But how on earth did he dare show it to his Jewish friend? Judge Elder is on the bench.
Lenny, you are taking your best friend, David, to moral court. Your best friend, David, is an exhibitionist. And you find his behavior selfish, and his behavior is interfering with the integrity of your friendship.
That is a fair assessment, Your Honor.
Lenny, how long have you and David been buddies?
I've known David for about 15 years.
David, what do you do for a living?
I photograph electronically, paintings and other things.
Do you object to the term flasher?
I certainly do. I think flasher connotes a person who's deliberately out there trying to make a exhibitionist point, and that's not something I'm doing. I really do it because I feel like being naked. I'm a nudist. I'm a nudist. I conform to a very strict code of ethics, well-defined in nudist journals. People who, for entertainment value, attend things, go to beaches.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Why don't we dispense with the semantics, whether nudist or exhibitionist or flasher? You undress in public.
I undress in public,
okay,
given the audience. I wouldn't just undress in front of anybody.
Mr. Brown tells me there's a video that you have of instances in which you have been in the nude. Do you have such a video, Mr. Brown? Would you plug that in for me, please? Hold on.
You got to look both ways. You got to make sure no one's watching.
This does not appear to be Santa Claus.
Driving by, and hold your backpack carefully.
David, you were just showing us a video of you walking around. Broad daylight. Well, how do you know someone wasn't watching you? How do you know there wasn't somebody in the window,
100%.
someone driving by a car? How do you know that?
100%. But they didn't see anything important.
I'm sorry, you agree it's not...
I don't think you saw anything important either.
I'm sorry, you agree it's not 100%?
You carry your laptop computer, right? You carry your backpack, right?
David recently went to Europe, took a picture of himself at a concentration camp in Europe.
In the nude?
In the nude.
In the nude?
In the nude.
Absolutely.
It was a digital camera, so he was able to walk away from it and take a picture.
Why did you do that, David?
I did it to pay homage to the people who died in this camp.
I think you came up with that after the fact, David.
Hold on.
I'm not psycho. Listen to this.
You did it to pay homage to the people who died in the concentration camp by posing nude?
I went to this place to observe the site of atrocities. I was not there to insult people. I was not there to cause any kind of disruption. I was not there to be disrespectful. I was there to observe what had happened many decades ago.
In your mind, that's not disrespectful. But in the mind of 99.9% of the human race, it's crazy.
Which is why I made absolutely sure. Which is why I made sure no one saw that. In fact, Lenny, you've done more to bring this picture public than anybody I've talked to.
Let's see the picture. What do we have? Mr. Brown?
We have several pictures.
This is a concentration camp, and when you went there, you say that you did not go there to be disrespectful.
Exactly.
Why did you feel the need to take off your clothes to show respect, as opposed to keeping your clothes on to show respect?
I don't think this picture would have been any more notable than all the other tourist pictures that are shot at this site.
Oh, it's notable.
If it had been an ordinary picture, it would not have been notable.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
No, wait, Lenny, please wait.
Sure.
I believe that this is helping draw attention, at least among the people I intended to show it to, about the atrocities that were committed at this place. The last people who were in that room were probably naked. They were probably dead.
You are posing here nude because you want to show respect. You want to show that the goal of World War II was freedom. And you are, in your way, demonstrating...
I'm nude free today.
Demonstrating this kind of freedom.
They were nude and they weren't free.
And you're paying homage to them by being nude.
I believe so.
In this picture.
That is the point of interpretation.
Lenny, you Jewish?
Yes, I am.
David, you've known Lenny for 15 years. After you took the picture, how did Lenny see it? Did you take it to him and say,
Lenny didn't see the picture, but
look at what I've taken?
He heard about the picture and was offended.
David was fully prepared to scan the picture and email it to all of his friends.
I did no such thing. I did not email it.
Only after a friend of yours told you it would, to put it mildly, not go over real well.
So, David, you did not intend to take the picture, go and see your friend Lenny, who is Jewish, and say, yo, Lenny, look what I've done.
I would not have shown this picture to people at random simply because I know that there are people who would be offended.
I'm confused. You acknowledge that a reasonable person would be offended by the photo, yet you took it anyway. You didn't destroy it. Who else has seen this picture?
I showed it to one person who was not in my family the other day, and he was Jewish, and I wanted to see his reaction.
And his reaction was?
His reaction was, it was a brilliant picture. But he said that if my family or friends had been in a concentration camp and had died, I'd kill you. And I totally believed it. For that reason, I would not show this to anybody else.
Thank you, gentlemen. Very bad.
When does a naked photo cross the moral line?
I think what the real deal is that David wants to be a porno star and he's just trying to, he's trying to check it out. You know what I'm saying?
You know, there are introverts and there are extroverts and then there's perverts. Yeah. And what he has been doing is not art. It's not art, it's perversion.
You know what? I have a granddaughter. I hope so my granddaughter never have to see crazy people like you around.
Will the accuser win $2,000? Let's find out. Here's Judge Elder.
Moral accord is back in session.
Lenny, you've taken your friend David to moral court. David is an exhibitionist, and you find that David's behavior to be selfish, and it's interfering with the integrity of your friendship. Specifically, you talk about two things: David's general posing around in the nude, and also this photograph that he took in Europe at a concentration camp. First of all, Lenny, very interesting choice you have in friends. David, you have a right to pose nude depending upon where you do it. There are places in this country where people can practice your craft legally. The public streets are not among them. As for going over to Europe and going to a concentration camp and posing nude because you are paying homage to those who lost their lives when you know damn well that other people would be offended, indeed your closest friends were offended when you showed them the photograph. I don't know what word for it. Disgusting comes to mind. Now, you may think that's logical, but I think it's twisted. There is a distinction between freedom of expression and the practice of common decency and respect for others. You do not have a clue. I'm empowered to award $2,000 for a maximum moral offense. I intend to do that. $2,000 to Lenny, the accuser. That is my judgment.
David, you've been talking about your rights, but what about Jewish people's rights and other people who don't want to see their children exposed to your nudity?
I don't want to expose people's children to nudity.
But you're doing it. You're taking a chance every time. What do you have to say about that?
Very slim chance, I admit it, but it's not, to my knowledge, it hasn't happened in a bad way.
You're in denial, my friend. He disrespects you. Why keep him as a friend?
Because I like him, and he is still my friend. I think he's done wrong here, but I don't abandon my friends just because they're wrong. I also believe in loyalty.
Okay, fair enough. I'm Vivian Guzman for Moral Court.
I don't want to be grounded for the rest of my life.
Next, moral court. Does this man treat his wife like a child?
He won't let me get my driver's license.
She's too irresponsible and reckless to drive?
Yes.
But she's not too irresponsible and reckless to be a mother.
Moral court. Tomorrow.
Why don't we dispense with the semantics, whether nudist or exhibitionist or flasher? You undress in public.
I undress in public, given...
Moral Court was created and produced by Stu Billett Productions. Distributed by Warner Brothers Domestic Television Distribution.